Alright, so we have flown out for a weekend from Cairns to Singleton to get to Simon's grandma's 90th, and now we've flown back in. We spent a couple nights out at Ringers Rest, just chilling out, getting some stuff done. It's an awesome spot, kids loved it, easy to parent, but we're back on the move, and this morning we left Ringers Rest, which is in Mareeba, and we're making our way to Millaa Millaa, and on the way we're going to check out Crater Lake and Dinner Falls, so let's check it out.
How to reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along.
The crater track is 880 metres return, allow 20 minutes of walking time, and the Dinner Falls circuit is 1.34 kilometres return, allow 40 minutes return. I love this. I love these colours together. It looks stunning.
Can you get out of the way so I can take
I can get out of the way so you can take a photo, mate.
Whoa. How about that?
Wow. Look how far down that is, James. I've got a tight grip on you.
Does it look like a good spot for a swim?
Yep.
So we didn't really read much about this before we came, but it's not actually a meteor crater, it is a volcanic crater. So it's where below the Earth's surface, lavas come up through a crack in the Earth as waters seep through the crack, cause steam and pressure, and then eventually, bang, it's exploded and basically blown out a hole in the rock, which is where we are now. From the platform down to the water is 58 metres, but then astonishingly, the water itself, it's another 73 metres to the bottom of the crater. Pretty impressive. Not what we were expecting to find. I love this sort of stuff. It's kind of fun when you don't actually know that much about what you're about to see, and you just get to appreciate it for what it is when you get here. It's actually raining a little bit today, which is kind of cool. It's just this really light misty rain, which just feels very appropriate for a rainforest. So like just about every hike we do, I'm doing it in thongs. This one's pushing the limits of comfort though. She's getting a little bit, we're heading down to the falls now, and it's getting a little bit squishy underfoot, a bit slippery and a few little mud puddles, but luckily at least we put some proper shoes on the kids. But yeah, pluggers for the win. They'll get you into just about anywhere in this country. Wow, what an impressive waterfall that is. I tell you what, if you don't mind to walk through the jungle, down a beautiful creek, through the mountains, to find an epic waterfall and just show in a volcanic crater to mix things up, make sure you put this place on your list.
That is the coolest tree. It goes all the way up, and in the top there's these 3 beautiful tree ferns. The tree kangaroos actually use those as nests, and they hop from one to the other. So if you are in the area, look up, keep your eyes spotted for tree kangaroos. We've never seen one in the wild. They do have them in Canberra Zoo, and they're cool animals.
That was pretty cool. A nice easy walk too. Only a couple of Ks return, or less than 2 Ks return. Easy enough, the kids could do it. You can't beat it. There's something just majestic about it. It's just really, yeah, magical. Loved it. We're down in the town of Millaa Millaa now. We're actually going to stay here at the caravan park because the weather hasn't been playing ball. The sunshine state hasn't been delivering. We haven't seen the sun for bloody weeks, yeah,
like
a couple of weeks.
At least 3.
So batteries are getting low. We're going to jump on a powered site for a couple of nights. But Millaa Millaa also makes it a great spot to sort of explore this area, and there's a heap of waterfalls really nearby, so not too much driving as well. So we're just in town now, giving the kids a quick play on the playground. There's a really good playground here, actually, if you've got kids, with a good undercover area, which is great when the rain keeps stopping and starting like it is at the moment, or if you were here when it's hotter, you got a bit of shelter there. Yeah. It's a cute little town too, Millaa Millaa. Not much here, little supermarket, pub, and a couple of cafes, but just got a really quiet, chilled vibe. It's really nice.
And some really affordable real estate, just quietly.
Yeah. We're going to go and check in now and then and settle in for the night, and then we'll show you tomorrow morning where to go and do the waterfall way and check out some of these awesome waterfalls that are in the area. Well, good morning. We've just jumped in the car and headed out on the waterfall way. We're going to go and check out a few waterfalls this morning. The weather is just barely holding out for us, so fingers crossed we get around to them all without getting too wet, but if we've got to walk in the rain, so be it, we'll do it. So not too far out of Millaa Millaa, where we're staying down there at the caravan park, is Millaa Millaa Falls. It's a pretty short and easy walk, this one, I think.
Yeah, it's literally right there. I can hear it, I can see it. Let's go, let's check it out. My favourite thing to do, waterfalls.
So an easy walk down a few steps and you make it to this really picturesque waterfall. You can see why it's one of the most popular waterfalls. It's very almost structured, picturesque.
It's so photogenic, isn't it? Like, it would be the supermodel of waterfalls, let's put it like that. And there is a few steps getting down there, but if you have trouble walking and with steps and things like that, particularly in the mud, take the caravan and bus track, and it takes you right to the base of the waterfall and you don't have to do any steps.
There's a nice little viewing platform there, and then you can go down, right down to the water's edge. As we were leaving, there was a few people swimming there, but not really the kind of swimming day for us. It's very overcast, raining on and off, and not exactly warm, so we'll give the swimming a miss. So we're going to jump back in the car and make our way to Zillie Falls.
Yeah, I'm driving.
All right, let's do it.
Let's roll.
All right, we made it to Zillie Falls.
Zillie Falls, let's go check it out.
How much of a walk is this one?
I've done so much research and I know all about it, and
we'll tell you about it later.
We'll tell you about it later. I'll put it down here on the screen. The backpack's ready to go, so we'll just take that. It's full of snacks, so what more do you need?
What'd you do, James? You bit your tongue?
Yeah.
You're meant to eat your food, not your face. Don't eat your tongue. You pelican. Ready for a walk, H?
Not really.
Why not?
My leg is just kind of sore.
We only walked 100 metres. Come on, mate, let's do this. You can do it. You've had your snack. We've had to take the kids' shoes off in the car because they are covered in mud. We've had so much rain lately, there is just mud everywhere. So shoes off for the drive. We'll put them back on now, eh?
Yeah, I'm going to actually do it on the back of the ute. It's so muddy that Simon wore boots. No thongs today, boots for Simon. This is what do you reckon, the third time you've worn boots on a hike in a year and a half?
Yes, I wear thongs for 99% of hikes, but this amount of mud, even I've got boots on.
All right, this one?
Not really anywhere to sort of hang and chill out there if there's been a lot of rain. I reckon if it was dry, I don't know if it ever dries out down there, but if it was dry, it wouldn't be too bad. But it's a good one to walk down. It's a beautiful waterfall for a quick look, but it's not one to sort of sit and hang out at for any amount of time. We're going to trek back up this muddy hill and try and get out of here without too many injuries and preserve some sort of cleanliness. We'll see how we go, eh?
You just wipe your hands all over Dad, James.
Is that your hands clean now? You've wiped them on, Dad?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, that's good. Classic stitch up. What do you think of that one, Harrison?
Pretty muddy.
Pretty muddy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got mud all over you.
Yeah. There's your boots.
Muddy. Super muddy.
And we're gonna go up there now.
That was awesome. So it's only like a 1 minute walk down to the platform to see the viewing from the top of the fall, and then probably another 5 to 8 minutes down some rocks and a bit of a muddy path down to the bottom, and you can see the base of the falls. It's not the best view from the bottom, but it's definitely worth doing if you've got the right footwear. Definitely not one for thongs.
Hoping to go home.
Last one, mate. Boys have had enough of waterfalls. They're waterfalled out, but I think we'll make this the last one for the day and then head back to camp.
Do you know what's for dinner tonight?
What's for dinner tonight?
I'm going to attempt to make ramen. I've never made it before, like a Japanese ramen. So I've got a pork belly and some like chicken wing things marinating, and that's the plan for tonight. Well, we're on a powered site, so I'm going to use all the power.
He had to leave his stick behind at the bottom of the waterfall. Oh, look out, we might have a replacement. Okay.
He was just taking some photos down at the bottom and I could hear him crying from all the way up here. I just ran thinking he'd like broken a limb or something.
No limbs. It's just a full meltdown, Mary.
I had a broken stick.
Well, that's another waterfall ticked off the list. That's the waterfall way done. That's the 3 there on the circuit. We're going to cruise back around to Millaa Millaa, back to Caravan Park where we're staying up. Rest for the afternoon, I think. The boys are just about done. They've had enough. Yeah, I mean, I've probably had enough of waterfalls. I think 3's enough. I don't think we need to do any more, but yeah, beautiful countryside too. Awesome drive. Reminds me, I don't know, I didn't realise this sort of country was in North Queensland. Sort of reminds me of, you know, Victoria or somewhere like that. Behind the hill, you know, the hills behind Great Ocean Road or something like that. It's just these beautiful green rolling hills and a lot of, yeah, picturesque farming land. Nice countryside. I don't know.
Back for ramen?
Yeah, let's go make some ramen. I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm ready for a rest. The boys are cooked. Let's do it. Let's go back home.
Alright, so it's ramen time. I've never made ramen before. It just tastes delicious and I've got a hankering for Japanese food. In the bowl I have got 2 garlic cloves. It called for fresh coriander. I've just got like the squeezy stuff, so I put a scoop of that in. 2 centimetres of fresh ginger and a teaspoon of peppercorns, but I didn't have peppercorns, I just had ground pepper. So that is in there, that's ready to go. So the pork belly and the chicken are in 40 grams of dark soy sauce, 40 grams of oyster sauce, 20 grams of fish sauce. So that's been marinating overnight. So that should be pretty good. So I'm going to blitz this now and then see what happens. So that's all blitzed up. So now I'm going to add the shiitake mushrooms and just like a broth. Ready to go. So I'm going to chuck those in and some water in here with this mix. I feel like there's a little bit too much water in there, but I've followed the recipe so far, so we should see how it goes. Alright, I've just snuck out the back here because I've realised I've made a mistake. I don't want to admit to Simon that I've made a mistake. So I was looking at the pork when I put the eggs in, going, I don't think this is cooked enough. This needs to be more cooked. And I've gone back through the recipe and it says for the pork to be rindless and cut into 2 centimetre strips in the ingredients section. I completely missed it. But I've got a plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the pork out when it's steamed. I'm going to slice it up, remove the rind, and then just shallow fry it in a bit of sesame oil just to make sure it's cooked through. So that's my plan, and we're going to pretend that is exactly what the instructions say. Shh. You guys can keep a secret. Don't tell Simon. He thinks that's part of the recipe. Alright, so it did call for Chinese broccoli. I couldn't get regular broccoli. We have some cabbage left over and we've got a bit of loose leaf spinach left over, so I'm just going to steam those instead. So I'm going to substitute that. I'm pretty impressed with this. So this ramen is done. Now it's just got to cool down a little bit for the kids to eat it and we're good to go. It's just so good on a cold, wintry day. Even though we're in far north Queensland, it's still cold, it's still wintry. Got a flannel on. Alright kids, dinner's ready.
Okay, Mum, we're coming.
Got Japanese noodles. Yummo.
That is if I've had this stuff before.
Hey, this looks alright, darling.
I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited.
It does look delicious.
It does look delicious, you're right.
It's good.
Yeah?
Have a drink of water.
Oh, you'll be right, mate.
Not too spicy.
It'll be good for you.
It's the salt I don't like.
We're going to tuck in.
I reckon that took 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
Not spicy.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort, but worth it. So the following morning we set off from Millaa Millaa down towards the coast at Innisfail and thought we'd squeeze in just one more waterfall.
I love how it just dominates this space. This tree owns this section of the rainforest. There's no other tree around it. It's got all the sunlight.
What is it?
Nothing's growing underneath it. It's boss.
I've got to say, even without the reward of a waterfall at the end, these walks that we've been doing through the rainforests are unreal on their own. Like it's just, driving through it's spectacular. And as much as I love to drive and I'm not the biggest fan of a walk if it's not necessary, you're really getting a better appreciation for the forest when you get down to ground level and go for a walk through it. It's like you've transported into a completely different world. And the highway is only a few hundred meters behind us, but it feels miles away. It's raining lightly as we're walking through, and it's just kind of the perfect weather really to be exploring the rainforest. It's really special.
I think the thing that I love the most about the rainforest here is that everything that's meant to be brown is green. Like all of the tree trunks, which should be brown, have got lichen all over them or just some sort of moss, and then there's vines crawling all over them. Everything is just green. I think they're called crow's feet trees. The indigenous people used to bang the side of the tree root and it makes this like really loud echo, and they use that as communication to like signal where each other are. They're really cool.
It was at about this time when we were sitting there enjoying the waterfall and I had the drone high up in the air that Liz realised that the sore eye that James had been complaining about was a lot more serious than we first realised.
He's bleeding from the eye and he's bleeding from the nose and he's got something black in his eye here.
Just let me have a look, buddy.
See that?
Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ.
Okay. That's all we've got.
How am I going to get that out?
I don't know.
Oh, man. I don't know if we should be, Liz, or we should be getting him out of here. I think we should just be getting him out of here.
Okay, let's go.
I don't think we should be trying to do surgery on the side of the track.
I was just trying to pull it out.
No, I know, but it's getting bigger and it's only going to get bigger.
Okay, honey, you've just got a bug in your eye. It's going to be okay. We've just got to get it out, okay? All right, let's go. H-Man, you stay with me. Okay, so it looks like James has got a leech in his tear duct and we're about 20 minutes from Innisfail, so we're going to take him to a hospital there, see if they can get it out for us. All right, let's go. We'll keep you updated.
All right, hold Harrison's hand.
Harrison, hold my hand. This side. You walk here, this side of the road. On this side. So we're about 20 minutes from Innisfail Hospital. We've just called them to let them know we are coming in. They're going to get all these charts and stuff ready, but he's growing pretty big and he's doing really well in the back. He's been a great little trooper, but I can see that it's starting to come out of his eye. It's about this big now and it's still latched on, so it looks pretty traumatic, and I'm feel like lucky Simon's calm as a cucumber because I'm not.
How you feeling, Jamesy?
Not at all.
You alright, mate? You can see it.
Yeah. All it'll do. Alright, let's get him to hospital. About 12 minutes.
Get the bug out? Did you get to go in a hospital bed?
Yeah.
Was that good?
Yeah, I feel nice and cozy.
Nice and cozy? Should we go and give you a bath and clean you up and get all the blood out of your hair and out of your mouth and out of your nose?
And me.
Out of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Who would have thought we'd end up finishing our episode off out the front of Innisfail Hospital? But anyway, here we are. Little James is okay. That's the main thing. He's fine.
It's certainly a first for Innisfail Hospital to get a leech on the eyeball.
Yeah.
So he had a leech just on the inside of his tear duct, and as we were coming into like the ED and going through triage, the leech has actually come off itself. When we got in there, they were looking for it, they couldn't find it, they had blood all through his eye, they cleaned it all out, there was like, there's no leech in here. I was like, there's a leech in there. And then we actually found it on the floor, like where we were standing.
In the hospital.
In the hospital. So it had come out by itself, thank goodness, because when we walked out, we saw the prep tray for what they had in store for getting it off, and there's a needle this long on it.
Oh, man. Anyway, best outcome possible.
Best outcome possible, and the staff were amazing, and I think it just highlights again, like, I love how much work we do for just the charity donations to hospitals. Like, if
particularly
this is
regional.
Innisfail, this is a regional area, it's quite a well-staffed hospital. This could have been anywhere, so yeah.
There was a point there we were worried he'd gone down the tear duct. Apparently that's pretty unlikely because the tear duct's a pretty narrow passage, and anyway, I don't want to think about it. But anyway,
Keep it on your eyeball.
That wraps up our little waterfall way run through the southern Atherton Tablelands. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. We didn't get to film too much at the end for that. We were going to go to another waterfall, but obviously that all got aborted. We're now down in Innisfail. We're going to go and chill out for a couple of days.
Yeah.
When we see you next, we're going to be heading down the coast, hopefully getting out onto the reef and hopefully get out to some of these outer islands if this weather can play ball and get us act together. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe as always if you haven't subscribed. Over half of our audience haven't subscribed to our channel. It's free for you and it really helps us out. So we'd appreciate that if you could just click that little red subscribe button.
Yeah, it does make a really huge difference to our audience, which obviously means we can keep this content coming. So thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. We really do appreciate it.
In the meantime, enjoy your week and we will see you
next Sunday.
See you next Sunday, guys.
It's awesome!
We can't see you, mate, because you're back down. Don't do that to the camera. Oh, excuse me. Elinjaa Falls, Elinjaa Falls, Elinjaa Falls, I don't know.
The waterfall way is, there's 3 waterfalls. There's Millaa Millaa, Zillie Falls.
You're telling the story.
And Elinjaa. Just thinking. Can you guess what we're having for lunch? Wraps. The real question is, what are we going to have on them? Who knows? What's your problem, James?
I don't do wrap.
You don't want a wrap?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because we always have wraps for lunch.
Have you had enough hiking today, James?
Yeah, but it might
Should that be the last waterfall for today?
be.
No more waterfall?